Well, welcome, ladies and gents. Let's talk box office. Now, obviously, we'll get hard and fast figures coming in later today and, of course, tomorrow. But it's looking like Barbie will cross $1 billion. That took about 3 weeks, so pretty bloody good. Not too bad at all. Obviously, some of that sarcasm. That's absolutely brilliant. It's really, 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 really good. Those are great numbers. Oppenheimer's done very, very well. Better than I thought it would, actually. Teenage Mutant Turtles, as well as Meg 2. Meg 2 is looking like a $122 odd million worldwide debut. Not great for the Meg 2, but you know, the first film only crossed $500 million worldwide, so it wasn't exactly, a huge film by any stretch of the imagination. But can we consider the Meg 2 a flop just yet? Who knows? Time will tell. It seems to be the second week. A lot of these products where they sort of make or break, do or die, as it were. So hit subscribe if you want to stay up to date on box office reports such as this. But let's take a look. So this is Deadline, and Deadline are reporting that, well, now currently the 2023 box office is domestically passing $6 billion. Not great. They're saying it's plus 22% over the same January to August period a year ago. That's nothing really to sing and dance about because, of course, a year ago we were just coming out of the sort of, COVID lull as it was. And I wouldn't say that's amazing. Lots of products have, bombed this year. So $6 billion at the domestic box office. The studios are not going to be massively happy about that, but it's still interesting nonetheless. So, this weekend, first weekend of August, and, it's done all right. In fact, actually, plus 94% from a year ago, so pretty bloody good. Current Friday to Sunday is also looking like it's going to be massively ahead, in fact, plus 20%. So, yeah, Hobbs & Shaw was actually released in 2019, which is odd to think about, but never mind. So Barbie, what's going on with Barbie? Well, it's of course the front runner for the entire weekend. $54 million in weekend 3. So last weekend I think it did about $90 million. So it's again, what is that? Just over 40 odd percent drop off. 40-50% drop off. My mathematics are not incredibly great, but it's slowly declining. It's being hanging on by its worldwide haul. So some people take me as slamming Barbie for saying that. It's not. Week on, week out, it is obviously declining. That's the common nature of films. They always tend to decline. It's very rare, nigh on unheard of, when a film actually increases, although The Sound of Freedom did it in its second week. So, it did a $17 million Friday. And then second place. What's second place? Well, it's between Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Oppenheimer. And the Meg 2. Now, they're kind of cannibalizing their own box office there because it's Paramount, so not really sure why they chose to do that. I think it's Paramount, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Oppenheimer, unless Oppenheimer was a Universal, if I remember rightly. But I guess you could say that's counter-programming. Meh, who knows? But anyway, average 29 million a piece for the weekend, pretty bloody good. And of course, Paramount is looking like a $30 million for Turtles, which is a pretty good 5-day, $45 million, $70 million production, which makes sense. It was only an animation, so it's not going to be an incredibly high production budget. Although higher than I thought it would be, actually. But it looks like they cut a lot of stuff, which is odd. The Meg 2, The Trench, got a B- on Cinema Score. And the first installment was a B+, so maybe that's a wane in interest, but I don't think there's massive interest in this property anyway. I think it's what this property represents, which is just dumb fun, personally. But it's looking like it's going to take a $28 million weekend, a $12 million Friday opener. So not bad, although it did open on Thursday as well. So Deadline reports, interesting to note here, that this result is largely fueled by TV spots and in-theatre trailers, not the cast promotion because of the strike. Jason Statham, who counts 111 million fans on social media, got this modest plug-in before the film on Instagram, before the SAG-AFTRA strikes began. So this was just his quick little plug. Go watch the Meg 2, basically. So Oppenheimer, third weekend, is looking like $28.7 million, which is down just shy of 40%, 39%. So pretty good. I mean, $228.5 million, bloody good. You know, domestically, that's bloody good. So Barbie took around is 40 million shy from passing the $500 million mark at the domestic box office. So it's done really well domestically. It has done really well domestically. Now, due to its quite large decline week on week out, I mean, you know, $54 million this weekend domestically, it's looking like it's shy of $40 million to cross the $500 million mark. It probably won't do that next week. Domestically, it won't cross $500 million domestic next week. Unlikely, anyway. Now, again, domestic, $460.4 million. That's great. Really, really, really good. $1 billion global, worldwide take. Absolutely fantastic. You know, there's nothing, you can't say anything bad about this stuff. It's done really, really well. I mean, the market obviously speaks for itself. Now, again, loads of people go, oh, you're a hypocrite. You really desperately want to hate it. No, I don't. I mean, I didn't like Barbie by any stretch. Of course not. But I'm not going to deny numbers. Mathematics don't care about anyone's feelings. Whether you loved the film or you hated the film, you can't deny Barbie is a smash hit success. It was kind of always going to be because it's a huge IP. Now, it was interesting going into it because sales of Barbie haven't been massive. You know, although it's a huge IP with a global brand recognition, and it's absolutely massive, the sales of Barbie as a doll, as a toy, as a product, hasn't actually been very big. But I will see, you know, what I think will be interesting on the back end of this is whether this $1 billion take will be carried over to sales, whether that will reinvigorate the Barbie brand. Because I think that's what's genuinely going to be interesting, actually. Because again, it crossing, you know, high numbers was pretty inevitable, but is it going to, you know, carry over to the brand being reinvigorated? Meh. Who knows? That is genuinely the interesting thing to note here. So here you have it, just as a breakdown, and I love this breakdown that Deadline does. So Barbie, 4,178 theatres it was on this weekend, which is down in 159 theatres. So it's open to quite a lot, basically. Still on a lot of theatres. Now you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which is Paramount, 3,858 theatres, so done very, very well. And Oppenheimer was Universal, sorry, so that was my bad there. And that did 3,612 theatres. So I think, you know, the real win here is actually for Oppenheimer to be doing so much money on not that many theatres, actually. And the same with Meg 2, The Trench. I mean, 3,500, you know, theatres and doing $28 million domestic. That's pretty bloody good. And I guess Warner Brothers chose to release this against Barbie because they thought that it was counter-programming. I think that's quite smart, actually. I don't see that as a negative. Haunted Mansion. So Haunted Mansion is the Disney film, which is totally bombed. 3,740 theatres. So, I mean, it's clinging on for dear life because Disney still has sway over theatres, but it's not going to last much more. Now, hilariously, I mean, again, just to, you know, carry over, Sound of Freedom's done pretty bloody well, $164.2 million domestic, and he's getting a worldwide release. Dead Reckoning Part 1, $151.2 million. I mean, we could probably count that as a flop now, to be fair. It's not doing very well. Shame, because I didn't mind that film. But Talk to Me, people have asked me to watch. It's not released in the UK just yet, so I can't. And Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, hilarious. Only took $1.7 million this weekend. I mean, that is woeful. That's really, really bad. For $170.8 million domestic. That, we can absolutely say, is a slam dunk flop. Yes, I repurposed that phrase. Anyway, let me know what you think of this all down below in the comment section. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.